Following the devastating landslide in Guatemala, Tzu Chi volunteers conducted a disaster assessment to see how they could help. In Hualien County, Tzu Chi helps rebuild Huaren Junior High's gym to ensure the students have a safe learning environment. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Guatemala. On October 1st, due to the recent heavy rains in the area, a massive landslide occurred in El Cambre, an area approximately 16 kilometers away from the capital, Guatemala City. As of October 6, 161 people were confirmed dead, with many more still missing and unaccounted for. Tzu Chi volunteers were able to gain access to the disaster zone to conduct a survey of how best to offer their help. An excavator digs through the dirt looking for the remains of El Cambre's residents who were buried alive in a landslide on October 1st. Young people have also rushed to the disaster zone as they have not given up hope of finding survivors.
We came to help as there are still many who are missing.
6 volunteers on behalf of Tzu Chi were able to gain access to the disaster zone to see how they can help.
50 homes are still buried underneath. They should have been relocated long ago. It's such a disaster now.
Relief from the government, charity organizations, and other kind-hearted individuals have poured into the area. At the shelter where 140 survivors are staying at, medical personnel are stationed full-time to help provide health checks.
Although my house is damaged, I'm still with my family of 5.
Some are counting their lucky stars, while others are mourning the loss of their loved ones.
I lost my cousin, wife, and children.
Back in 2008, residents were warned of the potential of landslides in that area. However, without the means to relocate, they did not heed the call. Now that a disaster has struck, all the survivors can do is wait for the government to act. In early September, Tzu Chi volunteers in Mozambique held a Lunar July celebration in which local volunteers worked together harmoniously to pull off the event. The procession of volunteers from Mozambique settles their hearts and minds as they enter the venue to the chanting of the opening sutra in celebration of the lunar month of July. For Tzu Chi volunteer Denise Tsai, this is truly a breakthrough moment.
In the past, they had expressed that they had differences of opinion and bickered when holding events. However, this time, the volunteers said that everyone worked together harmoniously.
Performing their traditional Mozambique dances to give thanks for a plentiful harvest and good weather, the local volunteers also give thanks for all the spiritual support that has come their way. Local residents also give generously of what little they have, as they know they have the ability to help the less fortunate.
I pray to God to give her the ability to overcome her hurdles. Also, thanks to Master Chen Yan for her display of love towards us. The power of love is great.
Alone, one's strength is limited. Collectively, obstacles that seemed impossible to overcome are easily conquered.
So quando fazer bonita, não é você boa, não é você boa, não, não é? Tudo nós, ok? Tudo nós juntos, não é? So, eu muito feliz hoje. Eu vi pessoa coração, mas eu quero perguntar, pode continuar? Pode continuar?
Not really understanding the meaning of karma in the beginning, following the volunteers' explanation, these Mozambique residents now know they are in control of their lives. And when doing a good deed, they are adding happiness to their lives. Huang Xiaoxun, victim of the Formosa Fun Coast explosion, was the fifth person to succumb to her injuries. Xiaoxun's mother, Huang Meicai, is a single mother who works more than 15 hours a day in order to provide for her family. After losing her daughter to the tragic accident, Huang Meicai felt as if her whole world had fallen apart. It was only 2 months after Xiaoxun's passing that Huang Meicai was able to bring herself to sort through her daughter's belongings. I couldn't bring myself to sort out her room yet. It's still so messy.
It was only after 2 months following Huang Xiaoxun's passing that her mother, Huang Meicai, was able to bring herself to go through her belongings. Huang Meicai first lived in Guangxi, China, before reuniting with Xiaoxun and her younger brother in Taiwan 7 years ago. Having spent most of their time apart, Huang Meicai's biggest regret was that she wasn't able to spend more time with her daughter.
We lived under the same roof, yet we never made time to speak to each other. I leave home long before 6 in the morning, and she only got up at 6:30. When I get home in the evenings, I am already asleep by 10 p.m., and she only got home at midnight.
Huang Meicai is a hardworking single mother who works more than 15 hours each day in order to provide for her children. Although she tries to put on a strong face, every time she thinks of Xiaoxun, the tears come.
It really breaks my heart when I see someone with a child in their arms. I get really sad when I see mothers with their children.
Previously, Xiaoxun had suggested her mother enroll her younger brother at Tzu Chi Senior High School. However, only recently did this wish become a reality.
Don't use too much washing powder when you are washing your own clothes. Just soak it a little bit, and then you can rinse it. Once you've rinsed it, you can hang it up to dry. You may not get the hang of it immediately, but you will get used to it.
With her now only child off to Hualien, this is when the real test for Huang Meicai begins, as she deals with the memories of her daughter and learns to cope with her grief one day at a time.
Another bird victim from the Bali Water Park explosion is Liu Guoshen, whose family owns a grape farm in Nanto's Xinyi. Next, let's take a look at how the young man now faces a new set of challenges after being discharged from the hospital.
每天就这么早。对啊，如果工作赶的话，就来这边等天亮啊。
Starting work before sunrise, young Rui Qing and her husband Liu Ronghua make a living growing grapes. The Bali Water Park explosion, however, shattered their peaceful life.
妈，你说那个洗脸的水都是要先煮过？对，那个是煮过的，是医生交代的，还是？
对啊，就是因为他有的会用到伤口啊，所以他如果那个清这个的时候也是要煮过的水啊。
Caring for their injured son has become a heavy responsibility for Mr. Liu and his wife. Sustaining burns to 70% of his body, Guoshen wears a pressure garment now. Since Guoshen sweats during his rehabilitation exercises, Mr. Liu and his wife let him use the only air-conditioned room in the house.
从他受伤我都没有办法睡觉。对，
不要这样子，还是要睡好，真的。自己先照顾。
没有啊，只是后来就说吃药控制啊。对啊，让自己睡啊。
The pressure of working in a vineyard on top of caring for an injured son is tough to imagine.
My brother's entire family is helping us with the vineyard. We cannot find workers now, so they put their work aside to help us.
Since Guoshen returned home, he has been worried about his girlfriend, who was also injured in Bali. Today, Mr. Liu and his wife came to Taipei with Guoshen to visit his girlfriend.
When they did the debridement, her legs kept bleeding until she passed out. Then she was sent to ICU.
On the long path to recovery, Guoshen has endured much pain and agony. With his parents by his side, Guoshen is doing his best to recover because every step he takes means hope for his family.
I really appreciate my parents. I will do everything I can to get better, so they do not have to worry.
The isolated桃源Junior High in Taidong's Yanping Township is another one of the 9 schools that the Tzu Chi Foundation is helping rebuild in the county. Tzu Chi is building 6 new classrooms, a cafeteria, and a dorm for the teachers. As the township that birthed the legendary Hualien baseball team is the cradle of the sport in Taiwan, the school also has its own baseball team, so local talents can continue to pursue their dreams without relocating.
In Taidong's Yanping Township lies a small village called Hualien. The village made national headlines back in 1968 when the baseball team of its elementary school defeated Japan, the reigning world champions, arousing both the country's patriotism and passion for baseball. Not long ago, the township's only junior high school, Huaren Junior High, started its own baseball team so that local talent could continue to pursue their baseball dreams at home. The small school has only 3 classes and 62 students. During the 91 earthquake in 1999, many of the school's buildings were damaged and declared unsafe.
This row of classrooms was built back in the 60s, after the 9-year compulsory education plan was put into effect. An inspection revealed that they cannot withstand further earthquakes. The school's buildings have really deteriorated. Our rebuilding project will include 6 classrooms, a cafeteria, and a kitchen. The current cafeteria is a metal shack. Really, we cannot even call it a building. To put these students under this kind of harsh environment is really not very proper.
Change came when the Tzu Chi Foundation began its rebuilding project here this summer. The baseball team, which had stayed behind for summer training, became extra manpower and helped clear away furniture in the school buildings. Their passion and energy also rubbed off on the Tzu Chi volunteers, who came to help as well.
知道为什么要搬东西吗？因为要盖餐厅。重盖餐厅。对，重盖餐厅啊。还要盖什么东西？教室。一个一个。加油，加油！你松了。
The more isolated a community is, the more families in need there are. To help, the school's teachers live here on campus, but they lack a proper dormitory.
Over here, there used to be another bed and desk. That was how we used the room. It's a bit cramped inside, and due to excessive moisture, the concrete is flaking, so it's dustier inside as well.
When a teacher comes here, whether for 1 year or longer, if we can provide them with room and board, he or she will be more willing to come.
Currently, the school has 8 teachers, a principal, and 3 administrative staff. Though the school is small and isolated, with hard work, it can continue to shine on behalf of its students and Taiwan.
Hualien County's Huaren Junior High School is famous for its sports programs in track and field, soccer, baseball, and even indigenous dancing. However, the school lacks an indoor gymnasium where students can practice when it rains outside. When the school first opened its doors in 1999, it made plans to build a new gym, even setting aside land for the building. Yet without access to sufficient funding, construction has been put on hold for the past 16 years. However, that dream is now being realized thanks to Tzu Chi. For these young students, soccer is the key to realizing their dreams.
踢到职 湾数一数二的好手。
去找空打，去找空打，找到没有人防守空打。
Hualien County's Huaren Junior High School was first built in 1999. Its PE program later opened in 2001 and was the second junior program in Hualien to offer soccer. In 2014, the school's soccer team went on to win Taiwan's Youth Soccer Cup, and in 2015, 6 members of the school's team were chosen for the national team.
I want to show the world that the level of soccer in Taiwan is just as high as in other countries.
In addition to soccer, Huaren's track and field, baseball, and indigenous dancing teams are all some of the country's best. Despite its renowned sports program, the school still lacks an indoor gym where students can practice when it rains. Students instead are forced to find space in hallways or in the school's basement.
It is really narrow, so we end up kicking things. Also, the air is not good.
An indoor gym would also serve the purpose of giving the school's 400 students and teachers a place to assemble during inclement weather.
During rainy season, we sometimes go for a month without having a school assembly, as we don't have anywhere to gather.
When the school first opened its doors in 1999, there were plans to build an indoor gym. However, the funding was not there. Now, thanks to Tzu Chi, the dream of a multi-purpose gym is finally being realized.
What we mean by a multi-purpose gym is for the school that focus on sports. The building will be a training center, as well as a dormitory for the athletes that live at the school.
Currently, 26 classes of students live at the school. However, conditions are primitive, with the school's classrooms doubling as dining halls and even sleeping quarters.
The air is not good, so we have had to install a lot of exhaust fans and cooling fans. We worry that the stuffiness might affect the children and leave them with minor respiratory problems.
Even the showers are in bad shape. The future gym and dormitories will offer a huge improvement in training and living facilities.
In some areas, the floors are really slick. Hopefully, they can install non-slip floors. With the new gym, we will have space to spread out and won't be so cramped in one space.
After 16 years, Huaren Junior High School will finally be getting a new gym, as students and teachers eagerly await the day that dream becomes a reality.
With the start of a new school year, Tzu Chi volunteers in China took the opportunity to organize a scholarship distribution for students of 2 local schools at the Suzhou Jingsi Hall.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Suzhou, China are holding their annual scholarship distribution for underprivileged students for the 4th consecutive year.
She lost her parents and grandfather when she was younger. Under Tzu Chi's guidance, I hope she'll grow up to be a person of character one day.
Fan Caiyun, a student of Huanglu Private School, was raised by her aunt and has been living under her strict rules. When volunteers visited them in May, they tried to soothe out the tension between Caiyun and her aunt.
I know I can be hard on you, but it's for your own good. When the day comes for you to leave home, you will be able to take care of yourself, even when I am no longer around. You'll know how to wash your own dishes, your own clothes, without having to rely on anyone else.
The volunteers' aim is not only to provide monetary support, but to also promote character development through moral education.
We provide students with access to knowledge that prepares them for college, but moral education is just as important.
We hope our students learn to be grateful.
We hope that the children seated here today will remember to reciprocate the kindness they have received and help more people in need in the future.
Some students also brought their full bamboo coin banks to donate. Instilling positive values in children and helping them develop a good character is equally as important as academic grades. And although these children come from impoverished families, their compassion and filial piety is the volunteers' greatest reward.
Since the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter introduced the Happy Campus program in 2011, it has helped make countless students' path to education much smoother and lessen the financial pressures on their parents. However, due to recent increases in bus fares, students from 2 local schools in Selangor have been missing classes as they're unable to afford the fare. Tzu Chi volunteers thus decided to provide lunch and transport subsidies to help.
Song and dance bring volunteers and students closer together. Here at Vivekananda Tamil Elementary School, many students have been missing class due to the recent increase in bus fares.
Nearly 1,000 over children, because of the Sipot Tamil School, there's one new Tamil School open. So many children transferred to Sipot because of bus fare, parents can't afford.
Around 300 students did not return to school at the start of the new term. To ensure that students continue school uninterrupted, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to subsidize their transportation costs. Joanna Jayanti has been receiving Tzu Chi's help for the past 4 years.
Now my mother is feeling very relaxed and very peaced for the bus transportation. I feel very happy to come to school and study and learn more information, more focus in my studies, and I can get 7 A's.
It is the same situation for students of Seri Sedang High School. Azla and her family are also recipients of Tzu Chi's aid.
Life was difficult for us before we met Tzu Chi. My father was ill and we had no money to pay for bus fare. Tzu Chi has given us a lot of assistance from transportation to food. It has lessened my family's financial burden substantially.
The Happy Campus program not only aims to help students on their path of learning, but to inspire compassion and continue the cycle of love. One teacher of Vivekananda Tamil Elementary School has taken it upon herself to canvass for donations on behalf of Tzu Chi.
I collect every month donation from teachers. Even my guard, security guard, my canteen people also helping every month.
Now that the students' transportation problems have been resolved, they can finally focus on their studies free of worry.
In celebration of Taiwan's Double 10 national holiday, the Tokyo Chinese School in Japan held a street fair where Tzu Chi volunteers were invited to join. This year, volunteers prepared vegetarian snacks to bring a little bit of home cooking to the fairgoers. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.